Have you ever wondered why the ones with the softest hearts seem to carry the heaviest burdens? Why those who see beauty in everything are often the ones who cry silently at night? It is a strange paradox of existence. The brightest flames are often found in the darkest rooms. The most awakened souls are usually the ones most misunderstood by the world. Some call them sensitive. Some call them outcasts. But throughout history, there has been another name for them, the chosen ones. Not chosen by society, nor by privilege, but chosen by the universe itself. Chosen to break patterns. Chosen to feel deeply. Chosen to walk through the fire of suffering and return with wisdom that others cannot touch. There was once a young man who felt as if the world around him had turned into an endless labyrinth. Every day looked the same. Every conversation felt shallow, and every relationship seemed temporary. He would walk down crowded streets, yet the silence in his own heart was louder than the voices surrounding him. It wasn't that he was completely alone. He had friends, he had family, he even had moments of laughter and connection. But deep inside, he felt a distance that no one could cross. It was as though he was living in a parallel dimension, watching life unfold, but never fully belonging to it. This was not depression. It was not sadness. It was something much deeper, something sacred. He was being pulled inward, though he did not yet know it. At night, when everyone else would sleep, he would stare at the ceiling and ask questions that echoed into infinity. Why am I here? Why do I feel like a stranger in my own world? Why does nothing around me feel permanent? The questions themselves were like companions, whispering mysteries that could not yet be answered. And in those long, silent hours, he began to sense that someone, or something, was listening. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 powerful signs that reveal you are a chosen one. And these are not the ordinary signs people usually talk about. These are subtle, hidden, almost mystical signals that very few ever experience. Along with that, I'll also uncover some profound life lessons, truths that every chosen one must understand on their journey. So stay with me, because what you're about to hear might just change the way you see yourself and the world around you. Number 1, you are not lost. You are being prepared. One evening, as he sat by the river, watching the water flow endlessly, a thought came into his mind so clearly it did not feel like his own. You are not lost. You are being prepared. At first, he brushed it off as imagination, but the words sank into him like seeds. He felt them in his bones, vibrating in a way no ordinary thought ever had. From that day, small synchronicities began appearing. A random stranger would say something that perfectly answered a question he had been thinking. A book would fall from a shelf, opening to a page that spoke directly to his soul. Dreams became more vivid, almost prophetic, carrying messages he could not fully decode but deeply felt. And yet, with these signs came something else, resistance from the people around him. Friends grew distant. Some mocked him for being too serious or too different. Others simply drifted away, unable to understand the quiet transformation taking place within him. It hurt, but strangely, in the pain of being misunderstood, he found a new kind of strength. Number 2, the isolation. The truth is, those who are called, those who carry a spiritual destiny, are often placed in isolation. The separation is not punishment, but protection. Like a seed buried in the dark soil, he too had to be hidden away from the noise of the world so he could begin to grow roots in silence. But isolation is not easy. There were nights when the weight of loneliness felt unbearable. He longed to speak, to share what he was experiencing. Yet every time he tried, he was met with blank stares or dismissive words. And so, he learned to stay quiet. But in that silence, something remarkable happened. He began to hear the universe itself. The rustle of leaves, the rhythm of rain, the stillness of dawn, all of it became a language not of words, but of presence. He realized that he was never truly alone. The universe had always been beside him, whispering, guiding, holding him like an unseen hand. Number 3, the first encounter. One night, in a dream so vivid it felt more real than waking life, he found himself standing at the edge of a vast desert. A figure appeared before him, cloaked, radiant, neither male nor female, but carrying the weight of eternity in their eyes. The figure spoke without moving their lips. You are searching for answers outside, but the answers live within. The path of the chosen is not about being understood, It is about becoming. When he awoke, his pillow was wet with tears, not of sadness, but of recognition. He felt as though he had remembered something ancient, something his soul had always known but his mind had forgotten. From that moment on, he began to see life differently. Every challenge, every loss, every rejection, it was all part of the shaping. He was being carved, like stone under the chisel, so that something sacred could emerge. Number 4. The law of mirrors. Soon, he noticed a strange phenomenon. The world began to mirror his inner state. When he felt fear, fearful people appeared. When he radiated calm, situations unfolded smoothly. When he held doubt, obstacles multiplied. But when he trusted, doors opened effortlessly. It was as if the universe itself was teaching him a secret law. The outer world is nothing but a reflection of the inner. This realization shook him. All his life, he had tried to change things outside, work harder, please people, chase success. But now he saw that the true battlefield was within. If he could master his inner world, the outer would bend and flow like water. And so, his real training began, not in books or classrooms, but in the quiet space of his own soul. Number 5. The burden of truth. Yet, with great awareness comes great responsibility. He began to see through the masks people wore. He could sense the lies hidden behind polite words, the wounds concealed behind laughter, the jealousy that hid behind compliments. At first, it was overwhelming. He wished he could unsee it all, go back to ignorance. But once your eyes are opened, they cannot be closed again. He realized this was both a gift and a burden. For the chosen ones, truth is not optional. It is their very essence. And truth always disturbs illusions. This is why chosen ones are often feared, attacked, or misunderstood. Not because they seek conflict, but because their very presence exposes what others try to hide. And so, he understood another lesson. Those who walk in divine truth must learn to stand alone, for their light will always reveal what others are not ready to face. After that night, when he first felt the strange shift within him, the boy could no longer return to the person he once was. Every morning, he woke with a strange heaviness in his chest, as if invisible hands were pushing him to pay attention. At first, he thought it was just his mind playing tricks. But soon the signs became impossible to ignore. One evening, while sitting alone in his room, he picked up his phone to message a friend. Just as his fingers touched the screen, a thought flashed through his mind. He is about to call you. And within seconds, the phone rang. His friend's name appeared. It shook him. Moments like this kept happening. Small, but undeniable. He could sense things before they happened. Not always, but often enough that he knew. This was not normal. This was the second gift the universe had given him. Intuition sharpened like a blade. But here's the thing. When you see things others can't, you stop fitting in. At gatherings, he would predict the exact words someone was about to say. People laughed nervously, calling him lucky guesser. But inside, he knew it wasn't guessing. It was knowing. When you begin moving through this energy, it's not just about noticing the signs. Slowly, a powerful shift begins to take place in your life. You start to see how everything around you changes, almost as if reality itself is reshaping for you. New qualities awaken within you, gifts and strengths that are not ordinary. You become like a magnet of energy, drawing experiences, people, and opportunities toward you. Your frequency rises so high that you can feel the difference in every part of your being. But with this transformation also comes certain challenges, the ups and downs of walking this sacred path. And now, let's talk about those. The lonely road. With each passing day, his circle grew smaller. Friends who once called him every evening stopped checking in. They said he had changed, and they were right. Because chosen ones, they always change. He noticed lies in people's voices. The fake smiles, the empty words. He could feel their hidden jealousy, their secret pain. Imagine being at a party, and instead of hearing music, you hear the hearts of everyone around you beating their truth. It's unbearable. And so he withdrew. Nights grew quieter. Days grew longer. Loneliness pressed against him like a heavy fog. But in that silence, something else was born. Another gift. The gift of dreams. One night, he dreamed of walking through a forest he had never seen before. In the dream, he touched the bark of a massive tree. The next morning, scrolling online, he stopped cold. There it was, the same tree. Same twisted roots. Same scar on its trunk. It was real. How? The dream world had begun to bleed into reality. At first, it frightened him. But soon he understood. This was not madness. This was guidance. Dreams became messages, warnings, clues. Sometimes they revealed people's true faces. Sometimes they whispered about paths he must avoid. This was the third gift, visions through dreams. But with gifts come burdens. When he dreamt of someone suffering, he woke with their pain burning in his chest. When he saw betrayal, he felt the sting as if it was his own. The universe never gives without testing. Energy in his hands. Then came the strangest change of all. One winter morning, his mother fell ill, coughing violently. Out of instinct, he placed his hand on her back, and something moved. A warmth spread from his palm. Her breath calmed. Her face softened. She looked at him with eyes wide open, whispering, "What did you just do?" He had no answer. But deep inside, he knew. This was the fourth gift, healing energy. It wasn't like in movies. No glowing lights, no dramatic miracles. It was subtle, gentle, but real. He could transfer calmness. He could ease tension. Animals trusted him. Babies stopped crying in his arms. The energy flowed whether he wanted it to or not. The curse of awareness. But here's the paradox of being chosen. The brighter your light, the darker the shadows you face. He started noticing how people looked at him differently. Some were drawn to him, craving his presence. Others avoided him, sensing something they couldn't explain. He felt like a mirror. People saw in him what they tried to hide in themselves. And not everyone liked what they saw. Envy followed him. Mockery, even hatred. The world does not celebrate chosen ones. The world tests them. Thank you for watching. If this energy resonates with you, make sure to subscribe so you can continue this journey with us and never miss the next video.